So this week I'm gonna be responding to Noah's discussion post, and in Noah's discussion post, he made a really good job of talking about the several organizations that were established whenever during these periods that the Latino people went through, such as he noted that after World War II, all these organizations began to form, such as LULAC and La Raza Unida, and these organizations were more outspoken and garnered support for political involvement in the U.S. to respect the basic Latino rights that they deserved. And also, he made a really good point of noting the poll taxes Texas imposed to turn away Latinos and blacks and poor white voters because they couldn't afford it. I believe the book said it was like 30% of factory wage that the poll tax was. And then he also noted that during the radical nationalist period, the fruits of the early organizations that led to many coalitions catering to specific Latino demographics in the U.S. being created were able to help impoverished neighborhoods and barrios consisting of younger and lower class members, that they weren't alone and that they were able to vote and they deserved also the basic political rights that everybody else does. Also, he made a really good point about mentioning the Cubans in during this period because a lot of the Cubans immigrated from Cuba because of the communism issue that was going on with President Castro at the time. And then he also pointed out during the voting rights period that um, white people finally began to notice the involvement that Latinos were beginning to have in the voting, like in the political races. My apologies. And he made a really good job of noting that during this period it was very important because they were this was where Latinos really showed their what impact they could have on presidential races and any political race for that. And then he noted that in episode 5, the Chicano movement was a motivation of rebellion that a lot of young students took in order to receive the equal treatment in an academic setting. He noted he made his focal point where in episode 5, young Latino students for that had to fight for equal academic standing because they weren't allowed that at the beginning. So all in all, Noah did a really good job of going over briefly all the periods that the Latinos went through and also about episode 5. So it was a really good discussion post.